everyone, my name is AKANSHA and I am pursuing my Masters in Biotechnology from Delhi Technological University. So, my second manuscript my topic is transplantation of human amnion epithelial cells improve endometrial regeneration in the rat model of intrauterine adhesions. Okay, so if I go further, so this picture is about what intrauterine adhesion, which in short form I usually known as IUA, and it is also known as Asherman's syndrome. So it is what it is. It is the injury of endometrium due to curettage. Curettage. This is an instrument which is used to. It is like a spoon, like a instrument which is to scrap, from which we can scrap the layer of the endometrium. Okay, so endometritis. Okay, so endometritis. So these are the injuries. Endometritis, jahan titis. The meaning of titis is, if I break down this word endometritis, it means endometrium gets proliferated. Okay, so so usually it results in hypoamniria, amenorrhea, infertility, or it cause, what the main problem is, it cause infertility during second childbirth. Okay, so first childbirth usually हो जाती है, but second child में दिक्कत होती है. Okay, so from my second manuscript, there were 8 authors, but I would tell you about only 2 of them, which were the first authors, of course. So Xiaolan, Suzanne, Ozang, Ouyang, Xiaolan, Ouyang. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese names. Sorry for that, but yeah. So he did many researches in gynecology section and cervical cancer. I got this information from ResearchGate. Okay, so second was Shuang Yu. He has done many researches in female reproductive system. Okay, so I put this picture about how female reproductive system looks like. Okay, some of us might do not know how it looks or where it is present, but I know this is very basic, but I will just tell you in brief. Like, these are ovaries, these are fallopian tubes, uterus, internal section, external section, vagina, labium minus. Okay, so yeah, now we'll go another. So what is human amniotic epithelial cells? So it is present in the placenta region. Okay, it is present in the placenta region. These cells are present in the placental region. So when in my second manuscript, the scientists used rats as a model animal. Okay, but I have put this image of an human uterus. As you can see, this is the vaginal opening and this is the whole uterus, and this is the placenta layer, umbilical cord, you can see. So what is human amniotic epithelial cells? These are the stem cells which can regenerate by itself. Okay, so this is maternal decidua, chorion, amniotic epithelial cells, जो कि inhibit angiogenesis. Amniotic fibroblast layer enhances angiogenesis. So introduction. So after so so in the experiment, what they have performed, they have did human amniotic epithelial cells transplantation. Okay, so so what they get to know about the that PKS26 labeled human amniotic epithelial cells number increases in the basal layer of the endometrium. Okay, it helps in increasing the proliferation of glands and blood vessels and decreasing fibrotic areas in the endometrium and increasing thickness of endometrial layer. Okay, so after transplantation, what were the result? So first, what we did transplantation. Why we did transplantation? To enhance proliferation, or okay, so that decrease fibrotic areas in the endometrium, proliferation of glands, blood vessels. Okay, so after transplantation, what they get to know about many upregulated expression growth factors. So there were three growth factors: BFGF, fibroblast. You can read it. Okay, basic fibroblast growth factor, vascular endothelial growth factor, insulin-like growth factor 1. Some were downregulated expression of collagen type 1, alpha 1, COL1A1, tissue inhibitor of metalloproteinase 1, TIMP1, and transforming growth factor beta, TGF beta, in the extracellular matrix of the uterine tissue. Okay, so in very basic terms, I would tell you. First, there is a disease. Okay, now we have to find the cure. Okay, then how can we cure that disease? So we had a very fatal disease of not fatal, it means it is very बेकार सी डिसीज है, जिस बेकार भी नहीं बोल सकते. So it is a very common disease which nowadays increasing day by day. Okay, nowadays it is very increased. It has very increased. So results. I would tell you one thing. In my second manuscripts, there were no graphs, no picture representation of their results. They just put the name of the result, name of the enzymes, name of the factors which are involved, which they have found in their research. But what I get, I wrote it in my PPT. Okay, so mRNA sequencing, the results after mRNA sequencing, they discovered 5 genes. So they have discovered 5 genes: platelet derived growth factor C, PDGF-C, thrombopondin 1, THBS1, connective tissue growth factor CTGF, or WNTA5A, and SNAI2. So these are now we are going to I'm going to tell you about the techniques which they have used in their research, during their research. Okay, so there is direct immunohistochemistry. So what we do in this method? In this method, we use primary antibody and labeled secondary antibody. How do we label the secondary antibody? We can use many things like enzymes, fluorescence. Okay, from fluorescence, why we need fluorescence? We need fluorescence to detect, so that we can get the signal of the attached secondary antibody. It is like a ELISA. Okay, ELISA, you already know about the enzyme immunosorbent assay. So ELISA is a very common technique to get to know about the antibody. Okay, So ये look here are the color products what we use, DAB, these are the enzymes. Okay, so horseradish, first HRTO. Okay, horseradish, this is the term which is an example of the enzyme. Okay, so labeled secondary antibody, these are the proteins, these are test cells, tissue. So proteins are present in the cellular membrane, outer membrane. Okay, so these are the immunofluorescence. We use fluorescent tagged primary antibody, labeled antibody, and they have used another technique which is quantitative PCR, which stands for polymerase chain reaction. So in this I would tell you in more detail in the next slide, but now we get the brief idea what PCR is. So for there are 3 steps involved in the PCR. Basically denaturation, प्राइमरी एनिलिंग एंड एक्सटेंशन. सो ग्राफ भी जब आप इसका देखेंगे ना तो ग्राफ भी ऐसा होता है, लाइक पहले बहुत हाई होता है, पहले हाई पे होता है, देन नीचे आता है, देन थोड़ा सा ऊपर आता है. ठीक है, तो आप देख सकते हैं 90 50 70. हाँ, 90 50 70. ओके, सो in denaturation what we do, we want to open up the strands of DNA. So denaturation, we do not use helicase in this. Okay, helicase we do not require. We just use heat as in thermal energy to denaturation. It will open up the DNA strands, DNA melting. Okay, so primary annealing, what we use primary annealing, we use oligonucleotides, which is about 20 to 30 nucleotide long base nucleotide, or we can say base pairs long primers. Okay, so it will synthesize the whole DNA, complementary DNA, in 5 to 3 direction. So you already know Taq polymerase, and there are other polymerases which are used in the PCR technique. Extension, how we do polymerase, Taq polymerase. Thermus aquaticus, which is a resistant to high temperatures. Okay, it won't get melt easily. So why we use fluorescence? So that we can get how much DNA strands get synthesized. Okay, complementary DNA synthesized. Okay, so we move ahead. The difference between the PCR and qPCR. This is what I am telling about. There is the full definition. Okay, so I have told you about the full form. Principle. In the PCR we do primer amplification, but in qPCR either probe hydrolysis or fluorescence through intercalating dye. We use fluorescence in the quantitative polymerase chain reaction, and we get to know about the every quantity of how much DNA has been synthesized. Okay, so as I told you just now, like in normal PCR there is no fluorescence is used, but in quantitative PCR fluorescence has been used. Okay, so ingredients, PCR primers which we are used in the annealing part, Taq DNA polymerase in the extension part. Okay, PCR buffers and DNA template. DNA template is the most important set of in qPCR set of probes. Dye is the different part, different thing. No, dye, primer set, PCR buffer, template DNA, Taq or reverse transcriptase enzymes. So reaction preparation, assay setup. how we do assay setup, reaction preparation, amplification, and agarose gel electrophoresis. Okay, these are the things which we do. Reaction and for qPCR, assay setup is reaction preparation, amplification, and real-time detection. We get to know about the real-time detection. That is why we are using the fluorescence. Okay, so end results, how we get to know about the result? Through in PCR, through bands, DNA, gel agarose bands. But in qPCR, we get peaks on graph of amplicons. Resolution, of course, qPCR would have high resolution because we are using fluorescence. Applications for qPCR, amplification and quantification is the main application. But for PCR, amplification and detection of mutation. We basically mutation. In PCR, through PCR, we get to know about the mutation. So I would conclude my whole experiment. Human amnion epithelial cells improve endometrial regeneration. From the starting point, I am telling you that human amnion epithelial cells can aid Asherman syndrome, or we can say IUA, intrauterine adhesion disease. Okay, so thank you very much.